Hello children and welcome back to my show, A Little Allotment. Today we have a very special guest. You may recognize him from my TikTok channel if you've come here from TikTok. If not, I will introduce him now. This is my boyfriend, Nathan. And I have enlisted his help because today, if I told you yesterday, I did tell you yesterday, if you watched the last episode, you will know that today we are setting up an area to get some hens in. We already have one chicken, his name is Quagmire. You'll probably hear him have a big old protest throughout this.
Some of you may recognize me from TikTok, some of you may not, but this is me, this is my face. Hello.
Today's plan is to create a larger scaled coop than what we have out back for the one cockerel, as we are getting 5 hens and another little cockerel, and they are going out back in this little area. We have an apple tree there, we've got another tree to plant.
Some cleaning to do, some tree trimming to do, some de-weeding to do, and some building to do.
Yes, I will have overlaid a little bit of footage of the area that we are talking about as we talk about it. Because movie magic. In the area that we are making the chicken coop, there is already a good sized apple tree, and that's an excellent place to build a chicken coop because fallen apples or floor apples are excellent food for chickens. Absolutely excellent.
And chickens help fertilize the ground with their poop, so it's almost a symbiotic thing that's going on.
There is some de-weeding to do in that area, but all we really need to do is get the hazardous weeds out of the way, like bramble canes or blackberry canes and raspberry canes, because they're really sharp, and our chucks are very young at the moment, so we don't want them getting themselves hurt. Have a bit of fence to fix so that they don't go disappearing into next door's allotment, and we have a gate to build out of chicken wire so that they can actually get in and out of there. Okay, so let's get outside and get started. Right, yeah, okay, come. You good? Don't worry, you'll get used to it. Right, here we are. We have this area. Obviously, this area does not look very chicken-y safe. The first thing we have to do is we have to remove this. This was my old wood store. It's just not very good. The wood inside is not very good either, but some of it can probably be used for the actual coop itself, as you probably saw literally just a few seconds ago. This is the area that we're going to use. We're going to have to trim back some of this tree, get all of that down, fix a bit of fence, and then we're golden. So, movie magic, speeding, starting now. Don't speed in a car, that's bad, but speed using movie magic, starting now. We've got that bit cleared off. Now what we have to do is we have to continue clearing out a whole bunch of the stuff on the bottom. There is some broken glass down there that we need to get out because we don't want the chickens cutting their feet, even though their feet are really tough. So a little bit of glass here and there probably wouldn't be too good of an idea, but I don't really want to run that risk. Do you? I don't think so. Now once we've done that, we are going to have to cut back some of this tree a little bit. So she's going to suffer over that this year, and we're not probably going to get that many apples, but that's okay. We've got plenty more time. We don't need to cut it back all the way, we just need to take off this trunk, this branch, and this branch, and possibly a few little bits, you know, sort of around it, and it also does need a bit of a trim at the top, but it's a bit too late to trim it because that should have been done before it started to flower. But the actual tree itself will be okay, and if we dry out the wood, we can use it to restore some of the tools also. So, waste not, want not. Now, something that I found really amusing about this tree, which is no longer going to be the case because we're going to be cutting them off, is that it looks like Lumiere. Do you see it? Do you see what I mean? This looks like yes, like you see it? It looks like Lumiere from the Beauty and the Beast. But unfortunately we have to cut this off here and here and here in order to actually be able to get around to the coop and everything. So we're going to get that underway. By using a saw, I'm going to make some marks where I want the actual tree to be cut, and then Nathan's going to come and help me cut the other bits of tree off where it needs to be done. So we still wanted to have some of this branch, so it might still end up looking a bit like Lumiere, because that really amuses me. But yeah, so we want that here, there, there. Yeah? Alright. Let's get Nathan back here. Ah. And now we chop. I need you to move around a bit though, because I need to be there.
Should we cut out the bit where you tried to kill me?
No. Okay, so now that we've got Lumiere's arms off and now he's just a bit stubby, we've got to remove some of these other bits just because they're eye level and that's kind of dangerous. But to do that, we're just going to use secateurs because they don't particularly enjoy being sawn off. And so, when cutting branches off of trees with secateurs, the best ones you can get are ratchet secateurs. Bloody hell. Really should have done this before the tree woke up, because now that the tree's woke up, all of the sap inside the tree is now being pushed up the tree and it's making all the branches really soggy on the inside.
What's this?
Oh, okay. This is actually kind of interesting. These are roots, believe it or not. This is where a part of the tree has been covered by something dark and damp, and essentially the tree has started to self-propagate up here. That's what that is. It's literally just loads of roots that have coming out, but then the tree itself has gotten exposed to the elements again, and it's simply stopped doing that. If you really wanted to, you could wrap some soil around it and like tie that on with, I don't know, duct tape or tarp or something. Leave it there for a while. That would then root out again, create a little root system, and you could chop the tree off here, and then you just have a smaller tree that you could plant elsewhere. But if you did that, there wouldn't be enough plant above this part to feed the trunk, and the rest of the tree would die, and we don't want that.
All these scars.
These are just where it's split as it's grown, as the bark hasn't had a chance to grow with it. So you know when you get an older tree and all of the bark looks kind of shaggy? That is because the way that it works is the tree grows from the inside, it expands from the inside. It doesn't grow extra layers on the outside.
Yeah, that's how you get the rings.
Yeah, so in the same way that we shed our skin, and our skin cracks as it sheds in order to get rid of it, the tree does the same thing. Alright, now we've got the tree trimmed down. It's safe enough, almost. Safe enough to pass all the way around it. Now it's safe enough to pass all the way around it without getting caught on anything, which is going to make... I say that as I've just gotten caught on some chicken wire. Going to make, obviously, seeing to the chickens so much easier. You know what? He does still kind of look like Lumiere.
So we have done a lot of the work today, but what we have left to do is to clean the actual shed that's going to be the chicken coop. So let's get on to that now. This is what it looks like now. And through the magic of TV, you're going to see what it looks like finished.
Ta-da!
Woo! Still a bit more stuff to do, but that's tomorrow's job.
Would you like to meet the chickens? Because that's who's living in here. Come on. Alright, we don't have names for them yet, but here's one of them. And they're so cute! This is a girl, if she wants.
This one is from a slightly different litter of chickens, if that's the right word, and is just a tiny little baby. And it's very, very sweet.
3, 4, 5. Are you quite finished? Six.
And this is a little baby rooster, who
Oh, they're so cute!
is apparently quite camera shy.
So, from what I've gathered so far, we don't want them sleeping in roosting boxes just yet.
They're still little.
Because they're still very small. So, to start with, they just want like a nice layer of like sawdust or hay on the floor. For a few days, they will just be sleeping on hay on the floor until they get settled into where they are and find a place to sleep. Then we'll get some roosting boxes, which will be up higher because we don't want them nesting on the floor. Because if they nest on the floor, then they'll just start laying eggs all over the allotment, and that's not what we want either. What we'll do to settle them down is we'll go and put them in there while we finish off what we're doing.
So as you can see, there's a nice layer of hay on the floor, big trough for them to eat out of. This is going to be their new home. So the nesting boxes come and then they'll be living in those.
Chimmykins! Come on in! One.
Where are you going?
She's having a fun explore. You're going that way though. In order to make them the most comfortable, pass the cardboard that they came with around.
So they get used to the smell.
Actually, I don't think they'll fit under that. Looking at them. Ta-da! Hello! So, it's the next day, and we were a bit too exhausted to finish off what we were doing. Unfortunately, Nathan isn't feeling very well today, so I have to get this finished off by myself, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. I can do that. That's not a problem. So, the only thing really left to do right now is to build the gate, basically. Build the front bit, entrance, so that they can be let out during the day and be left unattended without me worrying about them escaping the allotment itself. I'm also worried about them jumping up and over because they're not quite strong enough to do that, and if they do, I can easily just put something up there to stop them being able to do that. That's also not a problem. So far, they don't even show that much interest in wanting to go anywhere but their run, so I'm not too worried about that. They're very sort of homey, you know what I mean? They like to stay put, they like to stay where they are. So, let's go let them out for a bit of a wander around, and I'll show you what we've got left to actually do, right? Okay, let's go. Hello, so, here we are. Come on, come on. Chickens. So, here we have the entrance to the actual coop itself. As you can see, there is no kind of gate or anything here. I've got plenty of wood to work with and I've got plenty of chicken wire to work with. So we're going to build a nice sturdy gate. I'll show you exactly what it's going to look like. Already got a beam going across the bottom here. Going to have a beam going across the top. 2 bars here, 2 bars there. A gate that we've already got built that was already here when we got the place. Put in the middle here with a nice... Oh, it's literally right here. And here's one I made earlier. I've got this huge beam that I'm going to use as a bottom beam to go across there to help stabilize everything. What I first need to do though is I need to cut it down to size because it doesn't quite fit in here. So it's going to go in there. We're going to continue this together, which is great because I didn't think I was going to be able to do that on my own, not going to lie. Obviously, the first thing I was doing there was I was chopping that bit of wood down to the correct amount of size. So we need to do that. Yeah. Awesome. And waste not, want not, this will be a useful something. Okay, so Nathan's already out there. I'm going to go and bring the wood out and we're going to get this started. It's going to be a time lapse with a bit of a voiceover because it's really windy and I need to put on my headphones because I have autism and a sensory processing issue and the wind is just not my friend. Let's go. Probably best use roots for that because I don't... Inertia is going to be our enemy now.
Yeah.
Inertia. So if you don't know what inertia is, neither do I. I know what it is, but I don't know how to explain what it is, but it's essentially...
Physics.
It's when... Inertia is basically when you're applying force to something and that something has nowhere to go but the other direction. So... if I were to have a piece of wood on the underside of this, and then I hit it from the top, inertia would stop it going downwards because it has no necessarily way to go, so it would go upwards. So, in this same regard, if we start using a hammer to hammer in nails on one side, inertia would cause nails that we've already hammered in on this side to come out. Yeah? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Fantastic. I need that. We don't need that yet.
See, so we've got the gate in place. But what we need to do now is fill in the sides with chicken wire, and then we're going to take the plastic off the gate and replace that with chicken wire, because plastic obviously is quite toxic, and chickens are a bit stupid, so they do have a tendency to eat plastic. They also have a tendency to eat glass and rocks, which...
They'll just eat out.
Yeah, so that's something we have to be careful of.
I'm currently using a G-clamp to just affix the gate closed while we put the chicken wire up, so that we don't have the gate swinging into us, because it's such an amazing gate that it works all by itself because it's an automatic gate. So, now that we've got the actual coop itself built, they need nesting boxes because they're starting to nest. So, building nesting boxes. And what my plan is to make it very simple. I'm going to put a board across the back of the middle bit where there's like a bit for it to stand, and then have that just like that. Get another piece of this board, cut off pieces. Yeah, does that make sense?
Tape measure?
In lieu of a tape measure, because I can't seem to find one out of the many things that I actually do have. There is one there, but it's a bit of a mess in there because I rearranged everything. So I'm just going to use string, because that's basically what tape measure is, I suppose, but with numbers on. The only thing that this is missing is the numbers, and I don't really need the numbers, so.
Do you want assistance?
Innovation! I don't think I need assistance. Well, if you don't want to get stood on, don't stand where I stand. Don't actually. I'm glad you find that amusing. Ow. Okay, after many injuries and many swears, we have a chicken box thing built. Pretty soon we are getting some actual proper nesting boxes, but the hens are starting to like roost, and they need something. So this is what they've got for now. Just for any other chicken enthusiasts out there, well, that won't do, that won't. It's temporary. It's temporary. Okay, come on.
Busted the wall open.
Only a little. Don't look over there. It's fine. So this is Fred. Are you done? Are you finished? Frederick. So this is Fred. If you've ever seen Matilda, you might get that reference. One day you'll be Chicken Ellen. Okay, come on.
Not Matilda. Madeline.
That's what I said.
Here we have Kiev. Next, it's Brenda. Brenda on the end. Brenda, Fred in Kiev. Little one here is Nugget, and she's the biggest troublemaker out of all the chickens, even though she's the tiniest one. This... and that's Nemo. Brenda escapes a lot, yes, this is true. So, the one that just jumped down is Kiev, that's Fred, and this here is Nemo.
Nugget! I'm trying to help you. Stay where you are.
Nugget, Nemo, Kiev, Fred. Left, we have Brenda, and then our 2 cockerels. Ta-da! 5 little boxes for 5 little chickens.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I did have a whole outro with Nathan filmed, but apparently we didn't have the microphone had died during that, and there was just no sound of it at all, so that made it really fun when it came to editing, didn't it? So yeah, that is our chicken coop. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm not sure what the next episode is going to be. I'm going to try and make it the wood store, but I've got a whole lot to do, and every time I seem to be promising what it's going to be, I seem to come up with a different thing that needs doing. Rather than doing the wood store itself. So, I'm not going to make any promises this time. Thank you for coming to my show, A Little Allotment. I hope you have an absolutely splendid day. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this about the place because I'd love that. That would be great. And please, my lovelies, never forget to wear that weird outfit. It's so important. Have a beautiful day. I love you. Bye-bye.